the opportunity to be here tonight to say something on behalf of my friend. He's my friend, he was my student. I could always remember seeing him run across the road. They had a 5 and 10 cents dime store, and I remember him running across the road to sell me a newspaper because he was so poor that he had to sell newspapers to get the money to pay for his uniform to go to school. The Honorable Sam Kondo, I want you to give him a hand. I don't mind saying how poor he was, because you just heard Thelma say the little house she born in. Well, I born in a smaller house than Thelma, you know. The house I born in was so small, it could only hold you one bed. And my sister and my mother slept on the bed, and I slept underneath the bed. And let me tell you something. We had no mattress, we had no sponge. I used to sleep in a crocker's bag. And my mother, I don't know how she used to get these brand new crocker's bag. But one night she get a nice new crocker's bag, and I love the new crocker's bag. So I pushed myself in the bag. I went right in the bag, cover up my head and my foot down in the bag. And then I start to scream. You know why? Sugar was in the bag and ants was in the bag. I don't think my other friend, and for a little while student, Timothy Harris, I don't think he minds telling you how poor he was. You don't mind? Timothy's mother had a load of children, and she used to work in the cane field. And Timothy, who was maybe her brightest boy, he used to go in the cane field, go help her spread trash. That's how poor he was. Let me tell you something. All of these people here who you see offering to represent you, they know what it is to represent you because they come up poor. Hey, Douglas come up poor too, you know. But Douglas got twisted. There are some poor people who come up poor, but they get twisted up. Douglas was so poor, it is a friend of his in Sandy Point who used to share his lunch with him. I don't know if it's true, but they said Douglas used to chase fowl in the night. I don't know why he used to chase the fowl there for. But the point I'm making is that these men are men who grew up from scratch and they built themselves up. Douglas also come up from scratch. They helped Douglas to reach the top, and when he reached the top, he tried to kick them down. Because I can tell you this, Waggy Bun. And I was just out there tonight, and an old friend of mine, he said, you know, my mother used to tell me, rogue and vagabond. He said, well, you mustn't say vagabond without you say rogue. A rogue and a vagabond. I don't know about the rogue part, but I definitely know about the vagabond part. Because look at what this vagabond has done. He has alienated these two good men, two of the best men in his cabinet, the best two men in his cabinet. He has alienated them. And he going around beating his chest I am the maximum leader. Maximum my ass. Without them men, he's nothing. Without those two men, Douglas is nothing. And one thing Douglas ain't got. He went to come a doctor and people, we supported him. Hold on. He come this doctor. When he was a doctor, he couldn't even tend to hard boil. I know that for a fact because one of my daughters went to him for a hard boil. And instead of giving the girl tablet for the hard boil, he went got cutting the hard boil, cutting the hell out of the boil. Can't even tend to hard boil. That's why he wanted to go in politics because he wasn't a good doctor. You never hear nobody say, boy, I went to Dr. Douglas. Look how you don't hear them say they go to Dr. Sealy and he saved their life. Who you ever hear say they went to Dr. Douglas and he saved their life? So these two men assisted him, making him into the prime minister, because one thing Douglas did not have, he did not have popularity. Douglas was not a popular man. Douglas win the election because the St. Paul's people love Bradshaw and they vote for Douglas because they want to vote for Bradshaw. Bradshaw done that, so they vote for this little idiot, this little vagabond. Sam, the man I come here to endorse tonight. Sam was a popular man. Long before he entered politics, he was a popular man. He was so popular that they picked him to enter politics before he even knew. It is when they don't make the decision, they tell him, because they say, man, Sam, you're popular enough to win any election. Sam was popular. Timothy, popular young man. Douglas, no popularity. So these two popular men helped Douglas to get where he was. You hear me? From the time Douglas get up there, he picking on Sam, he picking on Timothy. I ain't telling you no lie. And all when he picking on them, they're trying to be supportive of him. I'll tell you, one time Douglas was so sick, he damn near dead. He went away. For 6 months, he was on deathbed. This man here, Sam Condor, carried the mantle for him without any kind of pretension. And what thanks did Sam Condor get for that? Douglas realized that Sam more popular than him. So what he's doing is to start to undermine him. He started to undermine him in his own constituency. Douglas tried to be more popular than Sam in his own constituency. He couldn't get through. For all these years, he has been trying his best to undermine Sam, because Sam was more popular than he was. And all this load of ruckus we have, all the misunderstanding that we are having, it has one simple root, and that one little root is the fact that Douglas envies these two men. Douglas has been driven by envy because he can't get these two men to come under his wings so he could bribe them. So here what happened? When he reached the point of no return, when Douglas reached breaking point with these two men, and he said he can't hold them any longer, he started to tell people, you worry them, you know, I got a load of things about them, you know. So we're waiting to hear what he got against them. When he come, he said, what Sam was taking all these things, sucking them up. People start to say, boy, Douglas got something on Sam. If Sam could take all them things there, he taking more than one man. Douglas got something on him. So here what? Douglas said, I got something against Sam, you know, and I'm going to tell you tonight. Hear what he say. Sam is a kunumunu. Now, what is a kunumunu? A kunumunu is a man who trusts his wife. A kunumunu is a man who ain't gonna do nothing behind his wife back. And when a man is a kunumunu, it means he's steady. He's kept steady with the partner that God has given him. He's steady. Sam got the best wife. He got a woman he could trust. And any one of you men who tell me that you could get through without a woman, you lie. And let me tell you this, if you got a woman, you better trust the woman and walk behind her, because it's good to walk behind a woman. There's so much rhythm in the walk that is nice for you to be walking behind her, to look at the rhythm. But it ain't only the rhythm. It ain't only the rhythm. It is she who got to bring your children in the world and nurture them and train them and bring them up. It is she who got to keep the household going. Women are important in our lives. I'm sorry, when I was young, I didn't know that. I wouldn't have got so much woman. And another reason why Sam is a lucky man. Another reason why Sam is a lucky man is because this woman that he has is willing to stick her neck out for him. When Douglas thought he had him up in the place up there, she said, sir, Douglas said he want to hug up. Douglas said he want to hug up. She said, Sam, no, don't hug him up. So Douglas went over and he hugged up himself. But wait now. Douglas is a kunumunu too, you know, but he don't know. You know who he's a kunumunu too? A man's wife, a Stoner Brown. When a Stoner Brown is around, Douglas cares he town for houses. She got him mesmerized, and she put him against all his friends. As Stoner said, look, I want to get rid of Sam. Douglas said, yes, yes, yes. And this other joker, from the village. This other joker from the Buckley side there, who come from America. Come from America. A stoner got him full speed. I read something on the internet, all the things that he get from a stoner, so he got to bow down to a stoner. Anything a stoner want him to do, he got to do. So he's a kunumunu. Although he got his own wife, he's a kunumunu to a stoner brown. These two men are good men. And I thank you for coming out in such numbers to show your support and solidarity to them. And we are supposed to form a wall around these men. Because these men, along with the other men in the unity party or government, these are going to be the salvation of this country. Them and the woman them. You see the big march the woman them had? And you see Sam wife was leading the march? Somebody said, boy, Douglas make a big mistake to fall out with Jean Condon. By falling out with her and insulting all other women, he has driven a nail in his coffin. 3 cheers for the women. And we want the women to continue to meet, continue to pray, continue to bring more women in, because you are the fearless ones. You are the women who brave the guns of the soldiers. You heard soldiers were down the road, but you went to march. You don't care what they do to you, and you're going to have to do it again, because the motion of no confidence has not yet been debated, and until that is debated, you can't have any rest in this country. Until that motion of no confidence is debated, everything will be at a standstill. Because that motion of no confidence is what is going to determine whether Douglas stays in power or leaves. So that when they go into the house and debate it and he loses, he will have to leave. He's trying to fix up boundary. Boundary is all right, but MONC come first. And we the people of St. Kitts who understand that. You see this crowd here? All of us could go down Church Street and overnight. He having the thing when Monday, Sunday night we go down there and sleep on the pavement. The police can't lock you up. I will be there with you. We have to do something to prevent Dr. Douglas from continuing to do his extreme madness. We have to stop him. We have nothing against the boundary changes, but everything must take its turn. And the motion of no confidence is there since December. We can't let him continue to ignore it. We, the people of St. Kitts, must take steps to prevent him from going any further without having taken the vote of no confidence. I'm very glad to see so many of you here. Don't be afraid to march. You know, the evil spell has been broken. The spell has been broken and the people are now free. And that march on Friday was only the beginning of the great things to come for us. Good night. God bless you. Thanks for listening.